Okay, picture this. You just bought a house. Your HVAC unit decides to die 2 months after closing. Who's paying for that? You just moved in. Boxes are everywhere, and you're trying to figure out where the silverware is. But no, it's 112 degrees in Arizona, and your AC unit just tapped out. It's done. Or maybe you just got married, bought your first home together, and the dishwasher decides it's no longer washing dishes. You cannot afford to fail that first marriage hurdle. So today we're talking about protecting your biggest investment and why planning ahead might save both your house and your marriage.
You're listening to the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton. Ryan Hamilton is a real estate agent with Good Oak Real Estate and the heart behind the I Do Guru, helping people build strong foundations, both in their homes and in their marriages. Let's get into it.
So welcome back to the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton, where we talk real estate, relationships, and everything in between. Today, I've got Camille Johnson with Elevate Homescriptions joining us. And Camille works in the home warranty space, helping homeowners protect their systems, their appliances, their HVAC units that love to break at the worst possible moment. And so because this podcast refuses to stay in one lane, Camille also has a background in the wedding industry. So yes, we will be talking about that a little bit. Camille, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, before we go any further, you know what time it is. Camille, you're going to have your dad joke opportunity at the end of the episode.
Okay.
But I'm going to start it off by asking you a question. If you've ever heard of the man that evaporated.
I have not heard about him.
He will be missed. Okay. All right. So we've set the bar high. Let's talk about home warranties. Good. Camille, let's start simple. So when I'm explaining home warranties to my buyers, I actually use homeowners insurance to kind of make a distinction. So I tell them that homeowners insurance is going to cover things like fire and hail damage and those big catastrophic events, but a home warranty is going to be a little different. So in layman's terms, break it down for us. What is a home warranty?
Great question. And I love talking about home warranty. Home warranties cover the major systems of the home. So we're thinking about HVAC units, plumbing. Plumbing's going to include toilets, faucets, water heater. We even cover sprinklers, actually. All of your appliances, your kitchen appliances, your washer, your dryer, your fridge, and even things like your garage door, the electricity. Okay. So everything that has a switch to turn on.
Yeah, I like that. So if it turns on or off, then basically you're roundabout, maybe not everything, but if it turns on or off, a home warranty should be able to cover that if it goes out.
Correct.
Potentially. And I know we've talked about this before, but a lot of homeowners and buyers might have a different conception or a misconception about what a home warranty is for their past experience or whatever. So what misconceptions do buyers usually have, and kind of where do you stand on those?
Great question. Honestly, right now in the home warranty space, home warranties do not have a great reputation.
Yep.
And the reason is, first of all, homeowners never read the contract. And so then they're confused about what's covered and what's not covered. And maybe they're making the assumption that everything is going to be covered. So we decided to Elevate, okay, what if we gave homeowners what they expect?
That would be nice.
Right? So they expect that the contractor is going to be professional, come into their home. If it needs to be replaced, we replace the system, and all they've paid is that service fee. That's what homeowners want, and that's what our top Epic plan is offering them.
Okay.
So you could potentially have an entire HVAC replacement for the cost of the service fee.
Wow.
Or water heater replacement, or a fridge or dishwasher.
Wow.
It's a big deal, and it saves people a lot of money.
Sure. In full disclosure, my family, we were with your old company, and then you moved to the new one, and then we finally a couple of years ago made that jump to Elevate. So we belong to Elevate Homescriptions, and I think you've replaced 3 of our different appliances, including an HVAC unit that went out in the middle of the summer.
I remember that. It was very hot.
Oh my gosh,
very hot.
So I can vouch for this, and I'm happy to kind of tell my story to anybody that's interested. So. And we've had buyers that the water heater goes out within 2 months, and it's not a good surprise to get.
No.
Right. So, I mean, it's, having a home warranty through Elevate it's really about stress management as much as like money management.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is because, and especially when you're talking about first-time home buyers or home buyers who literally are leveraging everything to make their mortgage payment, they're not considering, hey, if my HVAC unit goes out and I have a $12,000 bill, how will I pay for that?
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
even simple things like toilets, faucets, easily several $100s.
Sure.
Easily.
Yeah. That's interesting, and that is definitely a conversation I have with especially first-time home buyers that they just don't get it because a lot of times the seller may be paying for that, for the first year, and they just don't think about it. So, I think this is a good time to kind of pivot and talk a little bit more about Elevate Homescriptions and why it isn't. You guys say it's not a traditional home warranty company. So, what does that mean, and what's a subscription piece of that?
A subscription, the name came from actually our CEO and VPs who sat in a room and tried a lot of different names.
This one sticks. It works.
It does. It works.
It's fun. Yeah.
It does. So you all are familiar with a prescription. A homescription means it's everything that a home needs, right? So not only are we protecting all of the mechanical operations, but we are also covering things like house cleaning, landscaping, pest control, pool maintenance. We even do things like hang the ceiling fan when you were talking about saving marriages.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I don't know if any of you have ever tried to install something with a
has.
spouse. Yeah. $75 will save you.
Yes.
So ceiling fan installation, even mounting TVs up on the wall.
Nice.
We're trying to be the total solution.
Love it.
For homeownership.
And you and I talked before about some of the stuff you're rolling out, and one of the things was bringing somebody in to clean behind appliances, fridges, and stuff. Like what does that look like?
So we are trying to build a home maintenance package, which
that's what it was.
That during that year we would drain the water heater, vacuum the coils behind the fridge, do an HVAC tune-up, do the dryer vent cleaning.
Yes.
Those are things, let's be honest, some people are really good at doing them, but
Most
I cannot
are
say
not.
I've ever emptied my water heater.
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
And we know about it.
Yeah.
We know that it's a good thing
We're
to
in the
do.
industry. We're supposed to be lead by example, but
Yes.
no, I've never.
No.
Once, so.
And it's recommended
Yeah.
once a year.
Yeah. And I've seen people do it, and it's like, when you haven't done it for a long time, like I'm like, that is gross.
The water is
That
gross.
Water is disgusting. So yes, okay. So who is your ideal homeowner, or your ideal client, or patient if it's a subscription model?
Right,
Or
yes.
prescription model. Sorry.
So if we were looking specifically from a financial look at it, I would say homes that are basically between like 1,500 square feet and 3,500 square feet.
Okay.
And buyers who understand, or homeowners who understand how expensive repairs are.
Sure.
And they really appreciate having a company to call and not have to search out for their own contractor, and we just come and take care of it.
Yeah. So going back to when our AC unit went out, it was more than just the money that we saved from, you guys replacing it. And thank you for that. And yeah, Camille was the one that actually helped us. She was on the roof and
I was
doing the crane
can do HVAC
or whatever.
repairs.
Yeah.
I have many talents.
But for us, because we had it, it wasn't, it's more than just the financial piece. It was the annoyance and inconvenience and the stress of like having to manage a household of 5 and 2 dogs, and you guys helped us get a place to stay and that kind of thing. So it's more than just that. It's timing, because it's never going to happen at a good time. You know what I mean? It's never going to.
Right. It never does.
Yeah.
It never happens at a good time. And part of the core mission of our company is we want to get people to be able to spend more time with the people they love and not be spending all their time and money on household repairs.
Love it. That's good. I think that's a good time for us to kind of transition, because let's talk. This is the Houses and Spouses podcast. So I've done over 225 wedding ceremonies, and before you got into before, I haven't always been in the real estate business, but before you got into home warranties in the real estate business, you were in the wedding industry as well.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you did.
So I was in the industry for about 10 years,
Okay.
2005 to 2015. And I worked for different wedding venues, and my primary role was to make sure the entire event went smoothly from beginning to end.
Okay.
So officiant, you stand here, bride and groom, you're here. Then we're going to do cocktail hour. Then we're going to do dinner, dancing,
Great.
cut the cake.
Yep.
And make sure everything feels like it's as seamless as possible and there's no mistakes, even though there might be, and we're just
for sure.
keeping them on the down low.
For sure. So you're kind of like the home warranty for weddings when you were doing that, because you were the preparation,
Yes.
right? So you were
I
there.
didn't even think of it that way.
You were there in case something went wrong, right?
Right.
And you were there to kind of fix that up.
And it's not if something will
Yes.
go wrong,
It's when.
it's when.
Yeah.
Right.
And then how
that's the same with the house
the
and a
reaction
wedding.
is.
And
Absolutely.
it's a big purchase, whether you're doing a wedding or purchasing a home. There's so much stress involved
Mm-hmm.
because you so joyful one moment and then so stressed
Yeah.
out the next. And
Sure.
like, can we do this? Right? Both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think about it, and I've had guests on the podcast that have gone through both, and Katie and Kurt, if you go back and look at some of those episodes, they talked about it, and they were like, buying a home is way more stressful, but there are some parallels. Lots of money, usually. Lots of emotion, lots of expectations. And there is something that will always go wrong, right?
Right.
And so whether or not, and that's in the process of buying a home, but then also of owning a home. And so I think that that's kind of the parallel of a home warranty. Having a home warranty is preparation for that. Having an on-site wedding planner that is a coordinator that's there from like, okay, here's the initial, investment that you have to make in this wedding, all the way through the final
the
toast,
night.
the end of the
Right.
night. Like, yeah. So I think that's a good way. There are some parallels there.
Well, and I also thought about the fact most Americans have the dream of home ownership.
Sure.
And I would say 95% of girls have planned their wedding 10 times over since they were little girls.
Well in advance. Yep.
Right? So it's a dream that you're trying to manifest.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. So tell us, if you can, real quick, just any kind of crazy story about your time in the wedding industry, if you've got one that you can safely share.
Okay. I actually wish I'd written everything down after
know it.
every wedding.
Yeah.
Because you think you'll remember.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the moment I remember the most, because this for me was the moment I just wanted to go home.
I'm done.
Yes. The bride and groom had cut the cake, and our chef was picking up the cake to take it in the kitchen to cut and serve. Mm-hmm. And I watched him as he was going up the stairs, and the cake went tumbling down. Cakes are very expensive.
Yeah, sure.
Right? I mean, they're $1,000 or more. The fortunate thing was no one was paying attention because the DJ had grabbed the bride and groom right to the dance floor.
Okay,
Right?
good.
So we see it tumble down, and I think, okay, I'm just going to leave, and I'm not coming
done.
back.
I'm done.
We just dropped a cake.
Gone.
But what we did was quickly, and I mean so quickly, we cleaned up that cake. We sent someone to fries. We served the fries
Sure.
sheet cake.
Yeah.
And honestly, we didn't tell the bride and groom till after the
Yeah.
wedding.
'Cause why?
Because we compensated them,
Yeah.
obviously, for the cake. But everyone was complimenting us on the cake, which is
This is the best cake I've ever
yes.
had. Yeah.
So that was one
course.
of those moments where your stomach just drops.
Oh, that's funny, but
Yeah.
not funny.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
laugh
like a
about
movie.
it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it is like a movie.
Yeah.
And the thought that I had to go up to a bride and say, "We dropped your cake."
Yeah. Yeah. That's
No,
tough.
no.
Eeh. Do not envy you. Okay. Well, that's good. There are parallels there. I appreciate it. Before we wrap this up, and before we get to the whole reason you're on the show, to do your dad joke, if someone wants to learn more about Elevate, and I'll put the information up here on the screen, and we'll put it in our show notes, but just tell them where they should go.
ElevateHomescriptions.com.
ElevateHomescriptions.com. You can reach out to me. I can share with you my experience as well. And again, we are current customers, and there's no, we plan on being customers until we don't own a home, whenever that is, which
Right.
probably won't be ever. So Camille, it is time for you to drop that dad joke.
Okay.
So let's
you
hear
know,
it.
this is the hardest part of this
Yes.
whole podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I can talk about warranting weddings forever.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan, why do you think I sympathize with batteries?
Why?
Because I never get included in everything either.
Okay. I like it. That's tying home warranties too with batteries and that are usually missing from things.
That's right.
Yeah.
Batteries not
Batteries
included.
not included. Yep. Okay. I like it. That's good. And see, you did a little research because that's ties to what we're talking about today.
Yes.
I like it.
Thank you, Chat
You
GPT.
prepared. Yes. You prepared. Thanks, Chat GPT. So before we go here, here's the bottom line. Buying a home is emotional. It's exciting. It's a big deal. But your systems in your home are going to fail. Your appliances are going to get older. Things are going to break. When you're planning for them and you're preparing for them, it doesn't make you a pessimist. It makes you smart. So Camille, thanks for being here. Thank you guys for listening. And if you're buying or selling or just trying to protect the house that you already own, reach out. We'll have a conversation. And remember, protect your house, protect your marriage, and maybe invest in some batteries and a good AC unit, good water heater here. And don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, the Houses and Spouses podcast. We will see you next time. And Camille, thanks again for coming.
Thank you for
I really
having me.
appreciate it. This was fun.
This is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good times. Thanks, everybody.
This has been the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with someone who needs it. For real estate help or a wedding ceremony crafted with care, connect with Ryan online. See you next week.